let's move on to the final pick on day 2 for the 49ers and for the entire league. 105. The 49ers at 105. At this point, I'll go first again. I think had them going offense. I think they could go offense with their first 3 picks like they did last year because they're trying to build a core around their very young quarterback. People that are his age that can grow with him. Plus, most of their free agents were on defense or special teams. So I'm going offense again. We went offensive line in round 2, wide receiver in the beginning around mid-round 3. Now I think I want to go running back because I want to go. Kyle needs to go to Debo and say, I have your money and you don't have to play running back as much. We are going to give you what you want. And they can't say that until they replace Mostert because we know that Trey Sermon is not the replacement for Mostert. We know that Mike Hasty isn't. As long as this configuration of running backs are on the team, it's got to be Mitchell the starter and Debo the change of pace guy. And they have to replace that change of pace guy. It was Mostert in 2019. It was Debo last year. It's an important player because he's the home run guy. Mitchell's kind of the Tevin Coleman, like rough you up, wear you out kind of guy between the tackles, but then you want the big play. It was Debo. I'm saying at 105, they take Rachaad White from Arizona State. He's about Debo's size, 6 feet, 215. He runs a 4.48. He's explosive. He's a lot built like Debo. And he went to Arizona State. They run a lot of outside zone. It's a similar scheme. The Niners like that. That's where they got Ayuk from. I'm thinking running back in round 3, even though they took one last year. Maybe they can find one later. Maybe they can find a running back later. But I think Rachaad White is someone they would like. They're drawn to ASU guys.
It's interesting you say that because I'm kind of leaning the same way. Donovan West, the center of Arizona.
Oh, nice! Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, I think that's where they could get their center
for sure.
Yeah, so like I said, they like Arizona because they can get a lot of intel via the coaching staff. So that's where I kind of feel that they're going. But if you're talking about undersized, like he's a guy that's he's 6'3", but he's like 290 ish, 295, something like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's a movement guy. He doesn't have the power I think that other guys have, but he might work well in their scheme.
Yeah. There's another guy, Pierre Strong. He runs a 4.37. He's a little bit smaller though, and I think the Niners want their running backs to be a little bit bigger because none of their running backs are ever durable. They all get hurt. And I heard Elijah Mitchell real quick said he wants to be at 210, 215 this year. I think he played at like 205 last year. I think the Niners are trying to put more of a premium on like size. Look at Debo. He's 215.
I do like where you're going with that, Grant. I do think they need to add a back, ideally explosive back. But there are a lot of big backs in this draft. Like if you're looking for like that pounder, like there are a lot of those guys. The Alabama kid. There's a bunch of those guys that are. If you're looking for that type of back, they're there. So if that's your plan, if your plan to kind of lessen Debo's, to your point, I think they might need to try to look to replace Mostert.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that guy is in this draft, like that type of explosiveness.
I don't know. I don't think Mostert's in this draft, but I mean, you could find someone who's sort of like a Debo-esque. I mean, what I like about Rachaad White is he's 6 feet, 215, 4.48. I mean, 38. I mean, explosive, 38 vert. That's Debo. Now, he's not Debo, but I mean, he's similar.
But I like where you're going, but I do feel like they've shown that they've been able to find these guys like
true
UDFA late in the draft. Like
I'm open-minded. If they find someone else, that's cool. Because their 6th round pick was better than their 3rd round pick last year at running back.
Here's what I think they should do with the running back: scour the league, find guys like Raheem Mostert was on somebody else's roster. Like scour the league, find guys, bring them in.
You know who found Raheem Mostert?
Huh?
You know who found Raheem Mostert? Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly had him in Philly. Knew about him. That was Chip Kelly's biggest contribution to the NFL.
To the 49ers.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yep.
So scour the league, find guys, bring them in, bring in a bunch of UDFAs. So you have like 4 or 5 guys, and then you take the best one of that. They've been doing it before, so like
how they can justify it though? It's a comp pick. We didn't even need this pick. They just gave this pick to us. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a running back, true, but it's a comp pick. I mean, it's free money. We didn't even expect to have it.
Trade for Matt Breida.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so he can get hurt in 3 games. Maurice says big plays may actually come from throwing the ball deep down the field.
Agree.
Wow. Are you allowed to do that? Are you sure? I haven't seen that in a while, at least at Levi's. Shout out to my girlfriend, Katie Ferguson, says Michael Carroll. Shout out, Katie.
Shout out, Katie Ferguson. I do think there is some of that, right? Grant, we do put a lot of a lot of emphasis on the explosiveness in this running game, but that's been necessary because they can't get the explosive. If Trey Lance is able to throw the ball down the field, maybe they don't need some of all of these explosive runs because
but if their offensive line is as trash as it looks, then they're probably going to need to get the ball out of the quarterbacks, because that's part of it. It's like, to me, the defense, like the advantage that the pass rush has over pass protection gets wider every year. Like, defensive linemen are so freaking athletic, and offensive linemen kind of stay the same. So that's why the quarterback's in the shotgun. That's why the ball's out in 2 seconds, because pass protection is really not good. I mean, most of the time. That's what I see.
I'd agree with that, but I believe if you look, I think sacks have gone down, and I don't know what quarterback hits have done, but
because the quick throwing. But with Lance, what you can do is move the pocket, play action, move the pocket, get him the fuck out of the pocket where he can have the space to throw. I like that. Yep, those are where the big plays happen.
Away from Mike McGlinchey.
Yes. Chances of us getting Watson and Kittle trade. Kittle's not getting traded, unfortunately. Chances of us getting Watson, it could happen. It could definitely happen. It could happen.
I don't see it.
He'd have to drop. I don't think they would trade up for him. Yeah. Anyway, so that's it. My mock draft for today: Cam Jurgens at 61, Calvin Austin Jr. at 93, Rachaad White at 105. That means the Niners will pick none of them. But I think they'd be good picks. I think they should really focus on their offense, because somehow for 5 years in a row, their defense has been better than their offense. And this is a Kyle Shanahan production, dude. You might want to get your offense, and Trey Lance should help. But right now it's Debo. Your offense is Debo. So let's, add something to it.
Will Jimmy Garoppolo get traded today?
No. Hell no. How about hell no? That's my prediction.
Don't forget to release a video.
Trading for him until he can pass something like a physical. And I don't even know if they'll trade for him after that.
Don't forget to release your breaking news about Jimmy Garoppolo today.
I had some breaking news about Deebo Samuel last night. That was fun. All right, last thing, and then we go. Charles says, what about one of the Rutgers guys, Isaiah Pacheco or Bo Melton? Both Deebo size, but run 4.3.
Shout out to Dirty Jers, Rutgers.
Yeah.
I'm not really too familiar with those.
Isaiah Pacheco, we're in a 4.37, 215, high motor, hurries, fast cuts. Wow. I mean, he's not super explosive with that 33-inch vert. I'm just saying, but he is fast. Who's the other guy from Rutgers? Let's see.
He said Bo Melton.
Bo Melton? I don't know. Yeah, it could be. I mean, if you're looking for guys later in the draft, those guys, fast guys late in the draft, why not? Give them a shot. But it just seems like it's such an important position. For whatever reason, the Niners are only as good as their backup running back. They go as their backup running back goes, so you might want to get that position right. Because when they have it, they're so hard to beat. They are so hard to beat. That one guy you give 8 carries a game and one of them goes for 40. That'll do it. Hey, thanks for watching the show. SDS woot woot. Grant Cohn, Coach Noah Johnston. Niners going to do stuff today. I'm excited. Stay tuned. We'll see what they do. Could trade Debo. Could trade Jimmy.
Woo!
We'll see.
Trade Greenlaw.
Yeah. Aziz Al-Shair. See ya. Oh, he said I skipped a super chat. Hold on. Let me go find Edgardo real quick. My bad. I'm having a bad day. I'm going all the way back. This is hecka interesting. What do you want to talk about while I search for Edgardo's super chat? Ricky? I would wait for C. West or Fortner with thirds. I got to go back. I think I missed a bunch today. What do you think? You like West, right?
I think he's all right. I'm not super high, but you kind of asked me where I think what I think the Niners will do. I think he's all right. Do we trade up? I'd be surprised if they traded up. If they traded up, I think it'll be like for. Do I think they should trade up? If you look at if you look at what the trade ups have been in this draft, they haven't been too expensive. So I mean,
dude,
if there's a guy
if
you
they
like
feel
there,
they need a starting center and Cole Strange just went in round 1, they could panic and be like, "Uh-oh." Because you saw what the Rams said, right? Like they were laughing publicly that the Patriots took. They thought Cole Strange was going to go at the end of round 3. So maybe these centers are going to go high, and the Niners are like, "Damn!" And they have to. Maybe they say that collectively.
You don't need to draft a center. What you can do is get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo and sign one. And I know JC Treader isn't the only one that's out there. There's like 3 centers out there that have been starting centers. Like, okay, is JC Treader the best one?
They're trying to get younger and dial back spending. I just have a feeling they're not going to do that. A 31-year-old center for Trey Lance, I just have a feeling they're not. I think what they're trying to do is get 22-year-old players who grow with Trey. It could be the wrong idea, considering they were just in the NFC Championship game last year, but they're taking a step back to take 2 steps forward, I think, in their eyes.
I like the idea. I like the idea, but I don't young garbage. It's not just enough to say they're young. They gotta be young and good. So like you can't reach for a center just because he's a center and just because
that's what they're gonna do.
Like for me, if I'm sitting there at 61 or something and the guy that isn't there, I'm thinking, okay, well then I'll just get one in free agency and then I'll take best player available.
They're going to tell themselves that Creed Humphrey went 63 last year and they can get a really good center at 61. That's my prediction. I hope I'm wrong. Watch, they're going to take a linebacker. They're going to take an off-ball linebacker. They're going to be like, what? Excuse me?